Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be bringing something to your attention this evening. Two things that we're going to be bringing to y'all attention. One of them is the satcomm website has been updated. Finally!
Finally! It's about time! It's been about 9 months!
That's right. 9 months, two different programmers, and finally, the satcomm website has been updated. We're getting ready to start up some different things on this particular site and some different aspects of programs that we're getting ready to enhance, so please stay tuned. That's the first thing. That's on the satcomm side of things. We have some things going on behind the scenes that's going to benefit everybody, so please be patient with us. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and I'm so proud of being loved by you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud of this particular app right here. All you have to know is, for some of our clients, for you guys to know, this is a notice of revocation of power of attorney and transfer of authority. This is what we're going to be sending out for you guys. The document's already been complete. What I like about this, including the formal demand letter, y'all don't, they're going to the depository institution. Okay, what y'all need to understand is we've been constantly over 59 different letters that have gone out. Why? Because we're creating a record. You keep hearing about these individuals talking about a court of record and creating a record and documenting everything. That's all we've been doing. That's why many of you are still in your homes, is because we continue to respond. Sorry, it's a tactic. All you have to do is respond to the idiots. They can't move any further when you stop responding to them, when you stop communicating, when you stop responding specifically to their junk. They can move forward because you didn't rebut the presumption. So we're constantly rebutting their presumptions. What I can tell you, to the present day, no one has been kicked out of their home except for those people who did not listen to what we told them they needed to do. Now, I'm going to tell you one little story, if you guys don't mind. There was a guy, he worked for us, and he signed up for one of our programs, and he needed help with his mortgage. So I told him, okay, I'll help you, and I was helping him on the side. And I said, look, I can't justify just doing motions for you, so you're going to have to pay for a consult because I'm not doing this for free for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this guy had just lost $8,000 because he trusted somebody on the internet. But I'm not just somebody on the internet, because this guy had known me. He had been part of our team for greater than 3 years. He knew me. He told me his wife said no. Really? You just spent $8,000 on some guy. You're about to get kicked out of your house, and I told you, in order for me to do these petitions for you, you got to pay me, and your wife said no? It's things like that that people are out of their home. Your monthly mortgage is $1,000, $2,000, some case $4,000. And you guys contact me and you think I'm just going to just help you out because I'm a nice guy. Now, here's the thing. There's too many people for me to be a nice guy to. So I'm going to pick and choose who I'm going to be nice to. I'm not playing that game anymore. You will pay an attorney without balking. You will pay him. You won't second guess that idiot, but you'll second guess this idiot. So be stubborn. And he was stubborn, and so that's what happens when you're stubborn. Look, he paid somebody $8,000 who claimed that they were going to be able to keep the person in their house. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd never pay somebody $8,000. Lord have mercy. Now, I've been got before by people. I understand, especially when you're desperate, and I wasn't even desperate. I just didn't care. But if you're about to lose your home, what's the worst that could happen by scheduling a consult? What's the worst that could happen by scheduling a stupid consult? It's what I told the young man. At least you'll get the documents done and they'll be put on the record. Because, see, when I do documents that way, no, I won't do that for the rest of you guys. Remember, I knew this person. When I do documents that way, I put a little bit more effort into it. It takes me a lot more time. Ladies and gentlemen, go and see if anybody will do a motion for you and look at how much they charge. I don't do motions, I do petitions. I don't bring up a little bit, I bring up a lot of it. Hold on, let's see. Petition challenging involuntary servitude. This is a petition that I put together for you guys. I just drew it in here, but this is a petition. Look at how detailed this petition is. This is the petition about you guys entering a plea. When you enter the courtroom and you enter a plea of anything, this is that petition. I don't just do petitions a little bit. I do petitions a lot of it. I'm not advertising here. I'm just letting you guys know that when it comes to helping people, that's our job, that's our mission, but we're not going to let people control us. If you want to pay somebody else, go right ahead. We won't balk, we won't get angry at you, won't get mad. Go ahead and go to someone else. If they can help you, by all means, go. Let them help you. You should have a choice. But if you're boxed in a corner and you're dealing with the courts, I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd call me too. And I'm not joking when I say that. August 15th. I know the date. August 15th, 1983. It's my first court date that I went into court. It's not the day I won. It's the day that the judge says, you know, you're going to have to do this yourself. That day. Everybody knows a 15-year-old kid, even in 1983, wasn't supposed to be standing before the court without a guardian at Layham. Latham. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that was illegal. I know it was illegal. You know it was illegal. But even at that time, hey, yeah, I'll do that. Okay? I wasn't afraid, wasn't scared. How long do you think how much time do you need? 2 weeks? Okay, well, reschedule for 2 weeks. Ta-da! Since then, 1983, August 15th, this is what I've been doing. 42 years. August 15th. That's only 17 days from now.
You don't know how to count.
Yes, I do. I know exactly how to count. I don't care about Julius adding 1 day to his calendar. Technically, it's 15 days from now, because y'all added in leap years when you shouldn't have been adding in leap years. You feel me? So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier today, I was going to keep this between myself and the company, but I decided to give this app to the people who have consultations, because they're going to need an app to which they can do, sorry, I had the word to which. The phrase to which is a phrase that I used to say as a child, as 13, 14, 15 years old. I would, because I was always doing a so-called legalese talk, and I would say to which, and one of my so-called friends at the time questioned me on the word to which, saying that there is no such thing. You can't say to which. To which what? Of course I can say to which. I can say whatever I want. And we had an argument about that until I showed him the phrase being used on a regular basis in law. My bad. I told you I've been doing this for a while, and people have been arguing back and forth with me. I just had a guy argue with me today. I have a plant that I just purchased today. It's a plant. It's called a Cape honeysuckle. Cape honeysuckle. Got it from Home Depot. I needed a plant that would grow in this soil and everything. And they said, hey, try this one. We checked out a couple of plants and I said this one. And they wanted to give me some lavender. And I said, nah, I love lavender, but I got too much lavender out here. There's lavender that grows naturally out here. So no, I don't need to pay for it. It grows naturally. And so we settled for this, and I told my friend, you see that plant right there? I want to separate it at the roots. I want to cut it in half. I want to split it. Ooh-wee. He told me, no, I wouldn't recommend you do that. And I'm like, why not? Because you're not supposed to do that. The root system, you're not supposed to do that. I said, would you understand this is my plant? I'm a grown man. Let me do what I want to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all don't understand the barge? You remember Elder Barge? And the song? Where it says, I'm a grown man, baby, a grown man. You know, that one right there? Today. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I told him, this is my plant. I paid for that. This is my house. This is my yard. I control this. If you don't want to do it, then let it alone. I'll do it myself. Then I went online and I found the evidence, the proof, that yeah, you can do it, especially with this plant. I said, I deal with foundation. I wrote him a nice little text. I deal with foundation. And so I gave him the instructions on how to do it. Gave him a picture of the plant. Why? Because I get tired of people challenging me just to be challenging me, thinking that they know more than I do. It happens all the time. As I told him, I deal with fundamentals. I don't deal with, I guess I could do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it was 100% logical. Looking at the base of this plant, if you can, and I have some, what do they call that when you take a branch from a tree and you cut it in such a way that you can grow roots from it and you can replant it? It's not pruning. I forgot what it's called. I have the device to do it and everything. Okay, I realize it's the exact same thing. It's just logic. So that's just one person today challenging me. Then I had another person challenge me about a young lady that he'd seen and he wants to talk to her, but he's afraid. And I told him, first, y'all are not from the same culture. She's a different race, so no, you can't just approach her like you would approach somebody from the hood. That's not gonna work. And we had a conversation, and he told me the last time he tried to talk to her, she turned and walked away. And he hadn't seen her for a couple of weeks, and he says he was just gonna give up. He said she changed her routine, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you don't even understand. I said, all you gotta do is wait a couple of weeks, and she'll be back. And then you're not going to go up to her immediately anyway. You're going to wait. Well, called me today and said, hey, guess what? And I said, to myself, I said, don't do it. Don't do it. You know what you normally do. Do not do that to him. It's not the time. And I let him tell me that, he saw her again today. And I said, and that's exactly what I was going to tell you. I couldn't hold it in. I was going to say, I know I was right. I know I was right. And I told you that was going to happen. And I told you all yet. And I went off telling him that. Because he told me straight up and down, no, she's not going to. No, he scared her off and all of that. No, God. So, what I'm trying to say in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a nut. I got a shell. And what you all need to understand is it takes a lot of energy trying to explain things to people that they don't understand. But when you explain something to these people, pay attention, they act like they know more about it than you do. But they came to you asking you for advice on the information because they read a book or they watched a video. They're supposed to know more. I go through it all the time. I go through people telling me all the time what you can and cannot do. I even commented on a video on TikTok where a guy was in a passenger seat and the police asked the guy to get out of the car. There is no lawful reason for the police to ask the passenger to get out of a car in a traffic stop. They don't get to search him or nothing. They did it because the guy was young and he was a person of color. If they suspected the driver of something, but in this case they did not. The driver is sitting up there asking what's going on. Why are you guys asking him to get out of the car? That's what the driver is asking. And they arrested this kid after tasing him. They did it because he's a kid and he challenged them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to get out of this system where the police don't believe that they can be challenged, where they believe that they are the authority. It comes from that old stupid understanding. I am the law. You are not the law, you stupid mother. The law is not a human, you idiot. You could never be the law. The law is etched in stone. It's written. It's black and white. The law is not a person. It could never be a person. So when they were telling everybody that they are the law, they are the authority, you are not the authority. You are a public servant. Public servants have no authority. That's been a problem with this whole system to begin with. I'm going to say something and I'm going to let you guys go. In our society right now, every single person of color, I'm going to do that. Every single person of color who spoke out, they took out. Go ahead. Every single person of color who spoke out, they took out. Now, the people of color who are speaking out, well, those are the lighter shade of grays. Yeah, the ones who are not really speaking out, they are barely speaking out. Yeah, those they let stay around because they are doing what they want them to do. But for the people who speak out, who let you know the truth, yeah, those people don't stay around very long. Why are you still here? Because your mama said she wanted me around because you weren't doing enough to make her feel like she was loved. That's why. Me talking about my mama. I didn't talk about your mama. You did. You asked me why I was still here and I had to explain it. If you had not said that, I never would have had to explain it, and thus it's your fault. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. In this society, you have all of these people calling themselves content creators, and they're all doing YouTube videos and all putting out information. Y'all need to go and pay attention. Go look and see where they're getting the information from. They're getting the information from Doug Riddle, Winston Shrout, Sam Davis, and I can't think of Tim Turner, Patrick Devine, Mr. Yusuf L, and Jonah Bay. That's where they're getting the information from. Ladies and gentlemen, they are not getting the information originally from themselves. And I'll tell it to you again so you'll understand where I'm getting the information from, because many of you guys still don't understand it to this day. I've been doing this since I was 15. When I was coming out of the courtroom and I was winning, everybody was coming over to me, talking about how well they thought I did, and was asking me questions. And while we would have to sit because the LA County courthouse, the stupid traffic court building, would be so crowded, especially Monday morning, that you'd have to wait in the hallway and sit down on a bench or stand up if it was no bench to be sitting on. And people would sit there for hours talking, and we'd have to wait for the recess and all of that, and have to wait for our names to be called and have to go put money back in the meter. So while we're doing all that, people are coming to me, asking me questions, and they're going in there, and it's working for them, and they're coming back out talking about, man, that worked, thank you, and they're going home. So now other people are hearing that, and they're coming to me. I am 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, and this is happening to me. I can't begin to tell you when they decided to put me in jail because I would not stop. They kept telling me to stop, and I told them, okay, and I continued. The people, when we would go in the holding cell, when we would have court dates, the people in there would ask questions, would go in court, and it would work. Can't tell you how many people got their sentences reduced by dealing with me. I'm not getting information from anybody else. I'm getting information from what I've learned, and I'm getting information from the true God, Jehovah. because I shouldn't have any knowledge at all about anything, but yet I do. So I can't take credit for this. But I can take credit for the fact that I will always give Jehovah the credit. I'll take credit for that, even though he'll take it from me. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this document, it literally is the ability of me loading any document into here and it putting it in code. This is the code. Literally, it just puts it in code. That's the whole document in code. Just this document right here that don't really have much to it. Just, every single document it does that. And, oh, I'm sorry. Do me a favor. I'm going to shut this off. I want to show y'all something. Let me get rid of that. Now, we're going to do this right about here. We're going to go back to that very same one that I just had open. I think it's this one. It's the private. It's not that one. Okay, pay attention. Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Pay attention. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Same document, ladies and gentlemen. Same document. It hasn't gone anywhere. You see, before, I hadn't found a system that was able to allow me to save the information so that when I come back the next day, even if I refresh the page, it would save. Well, this saves automatically. How so? I'm not going to give you a demonstration because that's not what this video is for. I just wanted to let you know that, not as a gimmick, but the people who I do consults for, I do documents for, and they don't know how to transfer nothing from here. So let's do this real quick. I want to show y'all something. Let's see if we can find a petition that ChatGPT has done. Let's do this. Wake up. Give me a petition sample for writ of mandamus. Stop listening. I just reinstalled the app, and so that's why that happened. So it's giving me a petition, writ of mandamus, and giving me the Constitution and the Acts and the Civil Rights Act of 1866, because it already knows, ChatGPT already knows who I am. This app knows who I am. It knows what I require. And so what it's not going to do is give me that junk it will give you guys. Remember, I've trained my GPTs. That's why when you're looking to do something legal, I'm not going to tell you that I have the best, because that would be stupid and foolish of me. But what I'm going to tell you is, oh, look at that, respectfully presented. Hey, I told you it knows who I am. All right? Now, give me a second. I have to take this. I have to copy. And, no, because I don't want him to put it in PDF. That'll be too long. And then I have to come over to Word. Word up. It's the code word. No matter where you say it, you'll know that you'll be heard. Word up. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. It didn't copyright. I don't know why it wants to play games with me like that. I know you're going to dig this. All you sucker DJs who think you're fly. Okay, so we got our writ of mandamus. Where does it say writ of mandamus? Yeah, we do this. It's just going to say petition for writ of mandamus. We're going to do that. We're going to say this. We're going to put it there. Put it there, pal. And we're going to put it in documents, downloads. And it's got it saved as I for N. And ta-da, told you, petition for a mandamus. And we'll put it in downloads for now. It's just a simple petition. Okay, now we're gonna come here, upload, and we're gonna take our petition, not that one. Where's my mandamus? Petition for mandamus. And let's pay attention, y'all. Jurisdiction, blah blah blah, relief, da. There's the petition for writ of mandamus. Now people can work with this a lot better. See? Agency name, all caps, respondent. Then John Henry Doe, blah, 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 real party of interest, petitioner versus the government. Okay, this ain't supposed to be together, so we go ahead and we separate. But this is the petition. Ta-da. And that's how simple that is. So I just took it from ChatGPT. I just threw it in Word. I didn't organize it in Word. What I don't like it is when they do this phone number thing. Phone number and email. There is no need for you to be giving your phone number or email to the clerk of the court. Make them always send everything in the mail. Forget those idiots. Ain't no courtesy. Send me it in the mail. Because why? When you get things sent in the mail, that gives you more time to prepare. If you have it sent electronically, that shortens the time you have to prepare and the time you have to respond. Okay? But that's just how this app works. Just that simple. Created a writ of mandamus. Now, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me show y'all. We're going to... I need you to expound on this. I need more detail. Give me 1 second. Show y'all how this works. Okay? See that right there? Okay? Now hold on. Look at, man, this is my GPT. That's what he does. For me. Not for y'all. So we do this, and go back down, right there, copy. We take this, and now, ta-da. Now let's take a look at the motion now. Now that's just one thing. Let's say this one right here, copy. Oh, I don't like short statements. Short statements, the courts will clown you. So what I do is we go, oh, look at that, is a private citizen, a natural man, the holder of secured rights in the Constitution of the United States and the common law, existing independently of statutory franchise, delegated privileges, and administrative classification. The petitioner is not a federal officer, employee, agent, or participant in any administrative program that would confer jurisdiction upon any department, bureau, agency, or blah, blah, blah under Title V or any other blah, 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 blah. Hey, I didn't tell him. Sound like a sovereign citizen, don't he? But he's not allowed to use sovereign citizen language. So give me a second. Ta-da. Now, that's a petition. A lot longer than it was when I first got it, and I can continue to do that from top to bottom. Have it explain every single point. From table of authorities, and introduction. We're going to take this introduction because I need a more detailed introduction. So let's do the introduction. This is the last one. All aboard! This is just a writ of mandamus. Okay? Look at here. Look what he doing. He just doing it all. Now what we gonna do is we gonna replace it with this. Everything. Just the paragraph that was already there, we gonna replace it with this because he's giving me my statutes at large. He's giving me my proof, my facts, and conclusions of law. Think that should be there. Copy. Looks like we made it. So we get rid of that part because he already rewrote it. And looks like there was an error, Will Robinson. Got to do that again. Oh, I see. That's the hover over. All right, let's do that. Okay, what we're going to do is different. We're going to leave that there. Let's see if it did the same thing this time. Okay, do you see this right here? Copy. let's see if we can put this here. Let's see if it'll fit. See, it's this thing right here that was the problem. Okay, so we got that, and we do this. Ta-da! And now we have the same thing, and now I separate the paragraphs because ChatGPT doesn't like this petition proceeds under supreme law, not administrative preference. It seeks enforcement, not negotiation. This writ of mandamus lies in favor of those who are entitled to justice without delay. I cannot begin to tell you how much I'm actually liking this. I didn't even ask it to sound like this, but it's exactly what I would want in a petition. I'm not joking. It states the points. Doesn't matter if they say he sounds like this. Doesn't matter. Because he's stating the point. He's stating facts. And so, there you go. Like I said, a lot better than it was before. And this is my editing the petition. I will be able to cut a lot of my work in half by this app right here. And it's an app that I created because of all of the work that I have to do with the organization. And so this will streamline that work and help me put together quite a few things. So from that little petition that ChatGPT wrote, we now have this one. And I can expound it even more, even with this jurisdictional statement. Okay, I can actually add other sections to the petition if I choose to. Let me see, did I put that here? I don't know if I did that with this. Where is it? Nope, I didn't put the add section. But that's not a problem. Because guess what? See this right here? Copy. Yeah, let's see if I can add it. Because it may not like me. Because it doesn't like me. So it may not let me. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. But I'm not going to do that. But I could do that. Because what happens is when I do, let's do preview. Okay. This is the preview. This is the document. Now I don't like that because that doesn't separate the paragraphs. So I'd have to do a little bit more tweaking because the paragraphs are not separated and they got to be separated. So now I got to do a little bit more tweaking. I got to go back in the system. I'm glad I did that tonight because if I had not done that, we would not have known about it. Okay, and just even this right here, you see where the words blend and court for? Okay, and that could be because of the way the document was put in here. So I'll let the system know. I'll work on that tomorrow and correct that. But anyway, it will be ready in time for the next consult. And we have a document that I have to prepare for our clients, for the team to start working on. So it'll be ready before then. All right, this was just me giving you an update on the site and letting you guys know so far everything has gone the way it should have gone, and we are getting ready to do something. I just can't tell you on video. I will have something for you, an update for all of you in about a day or so on each one of your files. Anybody who has an outstanding debt and we're handling that debt, we have some good news for you. So just stay tuned. It is coming, and I'll even entitle it, no, I can't entitle it good news because I don't want people to get confused. I'll figure out how to entitle it so that you guys can understand. Let's just say we'll talk about client file update. I'll call it something to that effect. Client file update or something to that effect. You guys will get the video. You'll understand the title. All right, look, I gotta go. I hope you all have a Coke and a smile, and we will speak the next time. Take care of yourselves. It's a long day. I gotta go take a shower.